My father grounded me in front of 45 people. It happened at his birthday party under warm chandelier light. He pointed at me like I was 12 again. "You're grounded until you apologize to your stepmother," he said. Laughter spilled across the room, sharp and careless. A grown woman punished like a stubborn child. Someone whispered, "She must deserve it." Someone else hid a smile behind champagne. And that was the moment I realized something. My name is Stephanie Young. And nothing about this night would end how they expected. None of them imagined what came 72 hours later. A ballroom. 200 witnesses. A $50 million contract. And a signature only I could give. He thought grounding me proved control. It only proved how little he knew me. Before we start, tell me where you're watching from. City, state, or country. And one detail about your setup. A couch in Chicago. A night shift in Texas. Or quiet headphones in a small kitchen in Canada. Your comment helps this story travel on echoes of life. For 3 years, I lived inside my father's reconstructed family. A place where I paid most bills but held no space. Every month, I transferred $8,500. 70% of the household expenses came from me. The master bedroom renovation? My money. The pool maintenance? My money. Bradley's new BMW for his 26th birthday? Also my money. Yet Marcus told people I handled simple IT tasks. He never mentioned the $2 million contract I rescued alone. He forgot the 72 hours I worked without sleep. He forgot my technical specs that saved his entire firm. At dinners, he toasted Bradley's leadership with glowing pride. I always stayed silent, swallowing truth like broken glass. Veronica perfected the art of removing me gently. "She's around somewhere," she'd say, waving me away. "She's so quiet you barely notice her." Quiet. Invisible. Convenient. But they never questioned my actual income. They didn't ask about my reserved downtown parking spot. They never wondered why Meridian's CEO had my number. They never asked where I disappeared each weekend. While they laughed upstairs, I worked 20 floors above Seattle. A real office carried my name in brushed silver. Rainier Tower overlooked Elliott Bay like a quiet promise. Inside those walls, I wasn't a burden. I wasn't dramatic. I wasn't erased. I was building something massive in complete silence. Then Bradley created a $2 million disaster. He promised impossible deadlines and vanished to Cabo. When the client threatened lawsuits, Marcus blamed me instantly. "You should supervise him," he shouted during dinner. "He's still learning the business." But the client emailed later praising my integrity. They requested only me for future work. Veronica demanded I delete it for family unity. That night I forwarded the email to myself, then to my lawyer with one subject line. Document number 1. They dismissed my value daily. I started documenting every dismissal. My weekends became sacred territory none of them understood. Veronica always said I was doing computer things. She mimed typing like a child playing pretend. But 20 floors above Seattle, my real life waited. Rainier Tower felt nothing like home. The elevator doors opened to my nameplate. Stephanie Young, Chief Technology Officer. My office was quiet, bright, and mine. Clear windows overlooked Elliott Bay's cold blue stretch. My assistant messaged about Meridian meetings constantly. James Morrison checked schedules and confirmed timelines. Marcus thought James was my old boss. He never knew James mentored me at Stanford. He never knew we built NextGen together slowly. Nothing lived in family conversations. One Sunday dinner, my phone buzzed gently. I stepped outside before Marcus could complain. James sounded thrilled over the speaker. "Board approved everything," he said warmly. 50 million secured. Exclusive integration remains ironclad. Marcus never asked why exclusivity mattered. He never asked why James needed me personally. Tuesday morning brought the ambush I expected. Veronica slid papers beside my coffee cup. "Bradley's investment portfolio needs credibility," she said sweetly. "We need your signature on these transfer documents." I scanned the first page slowly. Share transfer agreement. 2 million in value today. Potentially 50 million after IPO. All redirected to a man who misspelled equity. Marcus lowered his newspaper dramatically. "Bradley's future matters now," he insisted. "You'll have other opportunities. Family shares everything." His voice sharpened on that last sentence. "Signed by my birthday party." Then the real threat landed softly. "Or we reconsider your place here." That night I remembered Mom's last embrace. "I'll always be in your corner," she whispered. That promise died when she did. The man she loved disappeared with her. On Wednesday, I knocked on his study door. "Dad, can we talk privately?" He didn't look up at all. "If this is about the papers, stop. Veronica's right. Family shares everything." I tried explaining my work, my company, my responsibilities. "You're being dramatic again," he muttered. His favorite phrase, sharp as a slap. So I called Sarah Coleman immediately. Her voice steadied my shaking breath. "These documents are problematic," Sarah warned. "They undervalue NextGen intentionally. This borders on fraud. Then she pulled the Meridian contract. Silence filled the line. Stephanie, clause 7.3. Yes, I said softly. He needs my signature more than anything. They thought I needed their approval, but they needed my signature to survive. If this were your family, what would you honestly do? Comment 1 to keep peace quietly. Comment 2 to ask for clarity, even in public. Your answer might help someone reading this on Echoes of Life. Friday brought an emergency family meeting I never requested. Veronica arranged the dining room like a courtroom. Her sister sat beside her, ready for outrage. 2 cousins appeared, pretending deep concern. Marcus cleared his throat with rehearsed authority. We're here because Stephanie is being selfish, he began. She refuses to help Bradley succeed. Veronica dabbed dry eyes dramatically. It breaks our hearts, she whispered. Uncle Tom shook his head slowly. Your mother shared everything. He scolded gently. The weaponization of her memory cut deepest. Marcus delivered the ultimatum with cool certainty. Sign the shares by my birthday party, or you're no longer my daughter. The room waited for me to break. I didn't. I understand, I said evenly. Saturday morning, their laughter floated downstairs proudly. The house buzzed with party preparations. Caterers arranged towering platters across polished marble. Veronica adjusted centerpieces like fragile trophies. I prepared differently upstairs. I photographed the Meridian draft carefully. Clause 7.3 glowed like justice. Next-gen exclusive integration required my oversight. My signature controlled the entire contract. Sarah answered immediately when I called. Copies notarized, she confirmed. They'll be ready Monday morning. Good, I whispered. I won't be here after tonight. My belongings were already packed quietly. Laptop, documents, my mother's jewelry. Everything else belonged to ghosts. I placed my house key on the dresser. Beside it sat one final note. I respect your decision, Dad. This is mine. By dusk, guests flooded the living room. 45 influential people filled the space comfortably. Champagne sparkled under chandelier heat. Marcus greeted everyone loudly, proudly, confidently. He was performing for the world he craved. Everyone attention, he announced warmly. I want to introduce the company's future. Bradley stumbled forward, already flushed. My money paid for his suit. A guest asked about my role quietly. Marcus waved dismissively with practiced ease. Oh, Stephanie handles basic IT support. Laughter drifted nearby again. Then Veronica called me forward sweetly. Family unity, she said triumphantly. Stephanie has agreed to help Bradley. I haven't agreed, I answered plainly. She pushed harder with polished cruelty. Tell them you're transferring your shares. I'm not transferring anything, I said clearly. The room froze around us instantly. Marcus stepped forward, face burning purple. You're embarrassing this family, he snapped loudly. Then he delivered his final humiliation. You are grounded until you apologize. Laughter tore through the room instantly. A 28-year-old woman, grounded like 12. I picked up my glass slowly. I accept your terms, I replied. Since I'm grounded, I'll go to my room. I walked away without trembling. Behind me, whispers swarmed like restless wasps. Marcus assured everyone I'd return soon. He never noticed the door closing behind me. He grounded me to keep me small. He never realized I'd already outgrown his house. Sunday morning began with missed calls exploding nonstop. Marcus left 43 messages, each one sharper. Veronica tried soft concern, then quiet threats. Bradley simply demanded answers drunkenly. I responded to none of them. By noon, Marcus's voice changed tone. Mr. Morrison called, he said shakily. He asked if you're attending Monday. Fear finally cracked his certainty. I spent Sunday in my real home. A downtown apartment they never discovered. Floor-to-ceiling windows framed the Seattle sky. Silence finally felt like safety again. Monday arrived precise as a verdict. The Four Seasons ballroom shimmered with importance. 200 guests filled the rows patiently. Investors watched through a global live stream. This was Marcus's lifelong dream unfolding. He entered proudly with Veronica glowing beside him. Bradley followed, wearing a borrowed suit. Marcus shook hands with desperate enthusiasm. 50 million secured, he bragged repeatedly. No loose ends anywhere. James Morrison arrived with Meridian's legal team. Their presence shifted the room's gravity. Marcus straightened his tie nervously, then smiled. Everything looked perfect, on paper. Marcus sat at the signing table. Cameras clicked as pens were positioned. Meridian's head lawyer reviewed the documents carefully. Clause 7.3 confirms exclusivity, she said. We require next-gen's CTO signature first. Marcus blinked at her in confusion. It's handled, he insisted quickly. They're just a startup partner. We need the CTO, she repeated calmly. Stephanie Young must sign before you. Gasps rippled across the ballroom slowly. Marcus stammered. She's my daughter. She does basic IT support. The ballroom doors opened behind him. My heels tapped steadily across polished marble. I wore a dark power suit confidently. My level 5 badge glinted under spotlights. "Good afternoon, Mr. Morrison," I said. "Sorry for the delay." Marcus turned, face drained completely. "Stephanie, you're the CTO?" "Co-founder, actually," I answered gently. NextGen built the entire system. I placed documents on the table. Incorporation records, exclusive agreements, email threads, all notarized, dated, undeniable. Veronica's voice cracked with panic. "She never said anything." "You never asked," I replied softly. Marcus tried reclaiming control desperately. "Sweetheart, please sign for us. We need this deal." "I didn't mean Saturday." I was angry. "I know," I said calmly. "You meant every word." I picked up the contract slowly. The room leaned forward collectively. Then I set the pen down. "I won't sign this partnership. Respect is required in business," I continued. "And your company showed none." Marcus fell back into his chair. Bradley cursed under his breath quietly. Veronica covered her face trembling. James nodded once, understanding everything. "Deal terminated," he announced clearly. Livestream chats exploded worldwide instantly. The audience watched Marcus's empire collapse. He thought my signature was guaranteed. He forgot signatures require respect first. The fallout moved faster than I expected. By Tuesday, contracts collapsed like damp paper. 3 partners withdrew within 1 hour. Marcus was removed by his own board. He called every day afterward. Sometimes angry, sometimes pleading, sometimes broken. I answered none of them. For months, silence did the work I couldn't. The world finally saw what I lived quietly. Not a dramatic daughter, but a dismissed one. NextGen rose exactly as we planned. Our valuation doubled. Our team expanded. Young women entered our programs bravely. They reminded me why boundaries matter. One rainy morning, Marcus appeared again. Thinner, slower, eyes emptied of certainty. "I see you now," he whispered. I was wrong about everything. I believed him. But belief wasn't forgiveness. Forgiveness required structure, not hope. So I set terms carefully. Therapy first. Honesty always. Respect without negotiation. A relationship rebuilt, not inherited. We meet once a month now. Neutral place. Public table. Small steps only. Some stories heal slowly, if at all. What matters is simple. I no longer shrink to be accepted. I no longer donate my worth for harmony. I no longer live as someone's afterthought. Success didn't repair me. Boundaries did. Documentation did. Clarity did. If your family taught you smallness, hear this clearly from me. You are allowed to outgrow the room. You are allowed to rewrite the terms. You are allowed to choose yourself. That's what Echoes of Life is for. A place to name what hurt and honor what healed. If this resonated, please like the video, share it with someone exhausted, and subscribe to stay for the next story.